Peace. This week in astrology, brought to you by hoodmystic.com. What's up? Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. We're gonna talk about some astrology this weekly astrology update. We're gonna get into it. First, this is a week where a lot of planets go retrograde. 4 of the 7 planets will be retrograde this week, meaning a lot of karma is going to be enacted. The first we want to talk about, Venus is going retrograde as we speak in Pisces. It's just now entering Pisces, so we enter in a phase of what can be kept and what can be let go. And if we are to keep these new things, then the old things must be let go. So we're in a process of eliminating and a process of receiving a bunch of new things. And a lot of these things can be illusionary. So we got to really take this time to do your research before committing to something, because when Venus goes direct at the end of this month, it's going to be a lot of things that illusionary nature of what's been happening is going to come manifest. So it'd be good not to make any real decisions in the realms of love, but also in the realm of employment. You should take those chances. Even if you are working, it's healthy to continue to look for better employment, because the opportunities are out there. With Jupiter going retrograde, is providing a lot of good luck and a lot of opportunities for a lot of people who actually are seeking it. So make sure to be one of the individuals that is seeking it. Be prepared to move forward towards the end of the month, dealing with this Venus and Pisces transit. Next, I want to talk about Mercury and this trine to the North Node right before it goes retrograde. What we want to do is start to build our energy, because we want to align ourselves with the North Node, which is the life to come, the North Node in Virgo. But we need to be mindful of the limits that we put in on ourselves, because the limits that we put on ourselves based on our actions, right? Based on our thoughts, right? Those limits are the truth. So we want to, if we have a negative truth, that thing will become manifest. So we got to be mindful not to think negative. Let's think positive, and let's think of a life without any limits. The following day we go into a couple of Mars transits, and it's interesting, 4-3 and 4-4. So we got 7, and then we got 8, and then we got 4-4, the law of 44. Mars is a warrior planet, it's the planet of war. So a deity to work in, a deity to work with during this period is Ochosi. Ochosi is my head, but he's offering his assistance in removing these obstacles. Me personally, I deal with a lot of Shango energy, a lot of Ochosi energy. So it's all about removing these obstacles and creating luck and creating good vibes for myself, using the ancestors, using the deities. That's what this Mars energy is really about. You could use it or lose it, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what we're going to be dealing with in the middle of the week next week. I don't know if anybody really watched the news, but you can see the president on a daily basis is getting his ass kicked based upon a lot of metaphysical individuals putting a hit out on his ass. But this is not just towards the president. This is with any negative entity or negative force that is oppressing you. If you happen to be oppressed, it's time to call energies to fight back, because you might be oppressed physically, but you definitely being oppressed spiritually, and that just goes without saying. But the fact that you may be oppressed spiritually is a fact on you to fight back. It's not a fact to cry and mourn. A lot of this energy is indirect, but you know, after I put up this video, I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and I'm gonna put the YouTube video with the article, so you'll be able to see this video again, but it's also going to be live. So, you know, come back to this, because during the middle of the week it's going to be hectic, but I'm really hoping that people fight back. Around Thursday, Saturn goes retrograde in the planet of Sagittarius. If you've been watching my videos, I talk about Saturn a lot. This Saturn in Sagittarius is all about restricting you to your soul's highest aim. Sagittarius being an arrow aimed at your highest purpose. Saturn, a planet of restriction, is restricting that viewpoint. So a lot of things that have been happening, a lot of relationships, a lot of interactions have been because Saturn is kind of forcing you and showing you the direction that you should be going, right? But Saturn begins to go retrograde on Thursday, and so the training wheels now come off. And now you're dealing with Saturn being the Lord of karma. Based upon the things that you know already, are you able to make those decisions without Saturn actually forcing you in certain paths? Like certain people leaving your life, or certain people coming into your life, and now you'll have the choice to either engage or not engage. And based upon your ability to make the proper decision, Saturn is in a rewarding mood in retrograde, because now he doesn't have to use his energy in guiding you. You're using your own self-discipline to make the proper and right choices. Now, we have free will. Free will isn't like something that is true, though, because if I say I will do something, it doesn't make it like I will make $1 million in the next 10 minutes. I will, you know, I will own the ocean one day. I will. You can will anything in life. You have free will, but you have Saturn in your chart. And Saturn is always going to make sure your ass will be in jail, your ass will be in the hospital, your ass will be on punishment, your ass will be suspended from work. That's all Saturn. That's all. It's always a bitch at your job. It's always a dickhead at your job. It's always a negative, not even negative, but something that keep you on your toes. Like you can say, you know, fuck the world, but your ass will be in a homeless shelter getting beat up by, you know, homeless people, or whatever the case may be, to redirect you to do something else besides be homeless. And that's Saturn. So when Saturn goes retrograde, a lot of times this is what causes us to be in fucked up situations. And that's why I do astrology, because for myself, because I've been there. So now I know. Like when I was in this situation before, when Saturn was in retrograde before, it was in my Saturn return. And I made a lot of wrong decisions. And I paid for those decisions. But today, it's not going to happen. So I'm hoping that this message resonates and you start to make better decisions. And this is not no overnight shit. This is Saturn retrograde. It's 4.5 months. Going all the way through back Sagittarius. So this is everything from Trump being elected, Trayvon Martin, Alton Sterling, like 2015. We going to relive all of that, but it's going to be in a different context. we're going to have to make those right decisions. But that's enough about Saturn and retrograde. Once again, the full write-up will be on the site. So let's talk about this next weekend. And we have Sun opposed Jupiter and Libra. Sun is in Aries, Jupiter is in retrograde in Libra, and ultimately, if you see on the picture that I got for the new blog post or whatever, it's a lady. She has a blue ball and an orange ball, and she's like this, like the Libra scales. And on one side, it got you being grateful. On the other side, it got you being greedy. Because we receiving, and it's a good time. But are you grateful for the good that's going on in your life? Or are you focusing still on the shit that's not happening? Or are you taking the good that's happening in your life and you're not doing smart shit with it? You're just being greedy and just wanting more. You know, this is like where we get into the nigga shit that I like to call it, basically, in our lives, right? Where things is going good and we not making the right decisions, and we just come back into another cycle. And this has to do with Saturn retrograde as well, because we might end up in another cycle where we all fucked up and we got to start from scratch. Or we can take the lessons learned, use them, be grateful, because what's going to happen when we're grateful is that we are going to receive back more things to be grateful for, period. And so we want to align with that energy. And then this weekend we have a retrograde square, where earlier I talked about the Venus retrograde and the Saturn retrograde. Those two planets become squared this weekend, next weekend rather, the weekend of the 8th and the 9th. So that's a hard square, because like I said, the shit that we need to let go is the shit that we generally like and don't want to let go, but it's not helping us and we need to move forward, right? But see, these things going to depress us because we not going to take action, or we going to take action and start to relieve and start to build more clarity. And understanding that relationships require work, they require understanding, they require communication, they require honesty, right? So if you're not willing to do these things, then prepare to be depressed. It's going to be a lot of misery loves company this weekend because people don't want to do the work, generally speaking. So hopefully you into the knowledge, and you may happen to read or see this video and you like, you know what, babe, me and you, we gonna have to talk. Let's write out, let's start from scratch. Why are we in this relationship? All of these things gonna come up, and a lot of people not gonna deal with them, and they gonna create negative karma. Remember, relationships require work, and that's any type of relationship that you value. And also we dealing with some Pluto aspects towards the end of the week, Sunday. Just build your power up, man. I got an affirmation: learn, affirm, and burn. Burn those calories. Be active. Work out. Intake positive information. And also, dealing with this Jupiter retrograde, it's important to balance. That's why that picture is what that picture is. Balance, because remember, the best you is the best everybody. This is a 1 year. The sun is in Aries. Aries is all about initiation. Initiation is about initiating positive changes through struggle, through understanding the reality that we live in. Because if we think we know everything, right, you fucked up, because it's all about learning. This is my first video. I got another video coming up right after this one, probably in another 30 minutes. where we're going to talk about money, and that's going to be on my new group that I started. Look it up. What is it? The Root of All Fortune. It's a flip on The Root of All Evil, where we talk about the metaphysics of money, and that's my personal passion. I'm choosing to be wealthy. This is my 1 year, and this is my initiation, and I'm initiating both in my life, so I'm going to talk about it daily. So if you want, I'm not afraid, I'm not scared to say what I want to bring into my life, and that's wealth. So I'm gonna deal with it every day. So I got a powerful presentation. If you wanna if you wanna look that up, look it up. That video is coming soon. But we just ran through the astrology for the week, day for day. Like I said, you can hit up hoodmystic.com to get the full write-up. You can check it every day, correspond with the date, know what's coming, and be empowered, and don't be blindsided, because this shit is not random. This shit is highly orchestrated. So empower yourself. With that being said, I'm gonna sign out. Hood Mystic, El Melchizedek, I'm out. Peace.